And it's been a hard week for the West Village girlies.
I think it's been good. I think they've come out on top.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about this. You sent me this article. Where was this covered?
This was in New York Mag, which has had a kind of banger run.
Yeah, written by Brock Collier.
Right, who also wrote the one about the hot MAGA people who just want to say the F slur. That's what they want to say, retard.
That's rock and roll. That's free speech right there.
That's what they're really excited about. That's the extent of their politics, which, you know what? I'm there with you.
Right, so...
Yeah, they covered the rise of the West Village influencer girlies. Who you see them? You see them if you're out and about. If you're going to L'Artusi.
You see them everywhere. You see them all around New York. For our non-New York listeners...
If you exist.
If you exist, that is very true.
Thank you for bearing with us for our insanely provincial podcast.
Yeah, the West Village. So the girlies have taken over West Village. You know, you graduate from a Big Ten school and you move into a $3,500 a month studio in the West Village that is subsidized by your parents.
Mm-hmm. And or you're influencing.
Yeah. And I guess just the general takeaway
Slap on some sambas.
They're not wearing sambas. They're wearing like fucking white. They're all wearing white sneakers. Oversized light blue denim, the Vejas, and a black top.
Yeah,
they all look the same.
It's impressive. They love Blank Street.
Yeah,
big Blank Street matcha proponents.
Yeah,
they work out. Honestly, pretty impressive what they're able to how great they look, given that they're also eating like Don Angie lasagna every night for dinner. Like, you know how hard how much time they have to put into their bodies.
Right.
To detox.
Well, they're just doing Pilates all day.
They're doing, and listen, as someone who goes to Tribeca to do Pilates, these are my ladies.
You do Pilates in Tribeca?
Yes, I am the only.
So you are one of them.
I am the only male. I am the only straight. These are my people. Every week I see them, and they fucking crush me. They crush me to death. They make me look like a disgusting, out of shape ape. I just have to I've gained ultimate respect for these 23-year-old women and their stamina. They go. This is boot camp. They're able to go through the most. And I go to the hardest guy in the hardest class, who beats the shit out of me.
Dan, I still don't respect. I still don't respect you. You're bragging about going to the hardest instructor in your Tribeca Pilates.
I'm going to bring you to this fucking Pilates
I'm like, okay,
class.
Cool. Why don't you just go to the gym, you dork?
No, because I want to be shamed. I have a little bit of a shame fetish and embarrassed in front of hot women.
Are you also
anyone can just I do bicep curls in the corner? Oh. That's a joke. Okay, that's bullshit. That's weak sauce. Okay, in order to get better, you need to be around extremely hot, toned PR content creators.
Damn.
Okay, who?
Thank you for sharing your kink with us.
That's my kink.
Are you also wearing an aloe onesie that just shows every imperfection and every curve on your body?
Yeah. No, they can see it. They see when I give up, and they just stare at me. You know. And they're like, you're facing the wrong way. We already did this side.
Oh my God.
You go into the class, every single one of them is taking a mirror selfie, literally without fail because that's fine. It's part of the content.
Yeah. So in this piece, they interviewed a few of these West Village girlies. I thought this was a funny line. One of them said, "You can wear a Cartier love bracelet and still care about immigrant rights." Yes, queen. You can care. You can like natural diamonds, Dan, and support Black Lives Matter. Okay.
You can have it all.
You can have it all.
That quote is it reminds me of that photo of AOC going out to the migrant cages where she's posing and crying and that has the same energy.
Right. So what is this, Dan? They're an easy target, sure, but. Hasn't this always existed?
This has always existed.
This Sex in the City was this. Is it because they're lame and that they're more homogenized?
No, this is before this is 20 years ago. They were around. They were just in publishing, and now they're in PR and social media direction. What's the French saying? Plus ça change. The more things change, the more things stay the same.
I really hope that you're wrong with that.
That's fucking it. That's the saying. Okay. Our massive French audience can correct me.
Sure.
They used to just move to it was Murray Hill, and before that was Yorkville. You know, like if you watch the movie Last Days of Disco with Chloe Sevigny, whatever, all the girls, they moved in, they worked in publishing, they lived together in these Upper East Side places, they went out.
Yeah.
They keep the city going. They keep the economy moving, juicing, buying all the stupid trinkets.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's because they're just lame now. Even if they existed from a time before, maybe they had better taste. Because they interviewed someone on the record who's like she's like an executive at Calvin Klein, and she like lives in the neighborhood, and she's just bitching about how these droves of 20-something-year-olds have kind of ruined the neighborhood. And as I was reading, I'm like, well, you were this. You did this too.
Exactly.
It just looked differently. You're not wearing Vejas. You were probably wearing like Manolo Blahniks and getting trashed in meatpacking.
Yeah.
But the locations have just changed.
It's great. And it's kind of them to just like ghettoize themselves in this one area. They live there, they shop there, they eat there. You know, unfortunately, I have to go into the West Village to perform at night, and so you know,
it's like the Hasids in South Williamsburg.
Yes, exactly. You know they're there, but you have no reason. There's just mutual respect. Like that's your territory. That it's Chaz. Remember Chaz, the autonomous zone in Seattle?
What is this?
During Black Lives Matter, they created like an autonomous zone that the police left that quickly turned into like lawlessness. The West Village is just Chaz for the Emily and Parises of New York City, and we should cede it to them. It's fine. I don't need to go to Via Carota. I'm fine. Cha-cha matcha, it's okay. It's not for me.
Apollo Bagels is very good. I can attest to that.
Isn't that it? There's one in the East Village.
That's true. But the West Village, sometimes it's fun.
Fine. Yeah, Mama's too. I go to the Upper West Side one. Lit Industry, go to the Williamsburg.
So there's really no reason to go there.
No, that's what these chains are nice. They know that we don't want these people in our neighborhoods, so they give them one. They give them an outpost. It's like a mall. It's their Hudson Yards. Like it's all localized. They don't have to, it's like it's like one of those buildings that has like a golf and gym and everything is in a little block radius, so you never have to leave. And it's lost territory,
right?
But it's Jurassic Park,
So in fact, you want to
let the dinosaurs. We want to encourage it. Yeah, I think we need these.
Well, let's just bring in some Midwest chains and throw them into the West Village.
Yes.
Make them really feel at home.
Houston's? Why is there no Houston's there?
Okay.
I think we need I think we need the basic girls, first of all.
There's nothing wrong with being basic.
We need them to feel that we need to exist in relation to them.
That's what every business that thrives in New York needs. They survive off of the basics.
Yes, not everyone can be above average. Literally so.
Right.
We need the average. We need the people who are just fine waiting online for a Levain cookie. Okay, spending insane amounts of disposable income on Negronis.
Sure.
Okay, and Aperol spritzes and espresso martinis. Like someone has to keep this fucking city buzzing, juicing, paying the taxes. Because the fucking barista from Bushwick, she's drinking she's sneaking her own little beer.
I'm surprised that you have this take, Dan. They have power in numbers, though. Couldn't you make an argument that New York's lost its edge? These people, this is the predominant
people have always been
counterculture.
Saying that New York has lost its edge.
It doesn't exist anymore.
This has been time immemorial. People have been saying that New York is over, it's dead. You could look every 20 years, people are writing this article. I think it's fine and it allows me and you to feel better about ourselves and look down upon people, which is a service.
I don't look down upon them. I aspire to that. I want to be
smooth-brained and basic.
100%. They all seem happy.
Yeah.
They live in a nicer apartment than I do.
That's true. They go for runs.
They're way more in shape than me.
Yeah. Why do I hate people who just like drinking and hanging out with their friends? Great. I like doing that. That seems fun.
Yeah.
We should all be more like the basic. I don't want to be near them. I don't want to be anywhere near them. They are very annoying.
Yes,
and loud.
They are very annoying, but
and they destroy restaurants with their recs. But they only recommend the restaurants in their little shtetl, so it's good.
No, they do ruin a lot of restaurants.
Like what?
Just like fucking
American Bar.
Well, I was never going there.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Like, there's a great Koreatown spot, Chodanggol, that I love. I'm pretty sure the West Village girls have ruined that.
They've discovered it?
Yeah, they discovered it.
Well, there has to be a sacrificial Korean spot in the West Village. They'll just take it up the ass, and
these girls, they're making the pilgrimage once a year, but they have just so many of them that every night it's crowded.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, fair, Dan. I've turned around.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're in support of the West Village girlies. Do your thing. Keep making content.
We accept that they've taken over the territory. Just don't. It's like gangs of New York. Just stay there. Don't come out. Don't come out too far out of your bubble.
It is a crazy content ecosystem that exists out of that neighborhood where, like, the notion